So in this video, I'm going to be using Bleach, the anime Bleach, to explain an esoteric spiritual lesson. For those of you who have seen the anime, you'll really enjoy this. For those of you who haven't, it's okay. I think there's enough truth in this for you to resonate without having to see the show. So in the show, our hero's name is Ichigo, and Ichigo is fighting a villain who is the strongest villain he's faced so far. And in order to beat him, he needs his full power. Point straight up. Now, inside of Ichigo, there's basically a guardian, like the source of his power. His name is Zangetsu. Tensa Zangetsu, to be specific. Anyway, Ichigo goes into his consciousness and he confronts Tensa Zangetsu. And he's basically telling him, hey, I need to know the secrets to this technique. You have to tell me. And Tensa Zangetsu's like, I don't want to tell you. And Ichigo is like, why? There's someone I need to protect. I need to protect who I need to protect. And Tensa Zangetsu says, who you want to protect is very different from who I want to protect. So anyway, the two of them are fighting. Ichigo is trying his absolute best to win. He's using all of his techniques, all of his strategies. Tensa Zangetsu is not budging. He is overwhelmingly much stronger than Ichigo. And eventually Ichigo realizes that. His sword breaks and he continues fighting even after his sword breaks. And eventually he breaks down and he's like, he's got me at an absolute disadvantage. There's no way I'm going to beat Tensa Zangetsu. But why are we still fighting if he has such an overwhelming advantage? He could have killed me if he wanted to. And why does it seem like he's sad that we're fighting against one another? And so eventually Ichigo's, he's going through the fight and he has an epiphany. It clicks. He lets go of his sword as Tensa Zangetsu is running through him, and then he's stabbed. Ichigo literally gets stabbed, and it looks like, as the viewer, we're thinking, that's it. Ichigo's dead. He's done. He is finished. The scene develops, and come to find out, there was actually no pain associated with having been stabbed by Tensa Zangetsu. In fact, Tensa Zangetsu gives a beautiful speech, and he tells Ichigo,
You finally figured it out. The only way to acquire the final Getsuga Tensho was to give up all resistance and accept my blade. If you accept me, there can be no pain when I run you through. What you want to protect, Ichigo, is not the same thing that I want to protect. What I wanted to protect was always you, Ichigo.
the truth of Ichigo. He wanted to protect him. And so the two of them weren't in alignment there. Right. Now, this is how this is relevant to your personal journey. Is your wholeness, your essence, right? The wholeness of who you are. It includes some things that you're going to be afraid of. It includes some things that you don't want to confront and some things that you don't want to be true. Carl Jung would call this the shadow, right? Your shadow is a part of who you are. And so if you allow yourself to accept and confront and face those parts of yourself, then you actually may find that there is no pain in accepting it and in seeing it because it's already there. It's already there. The pain and the suffering and the discomfort, it comes from the resistance. It comes from you running away from it. It comes from you trying all of the tricks, all of the tactics, all of the strategies, right? The affirmations. It comes from, you trying to repeatedly tell yourself, no, I am good. I am good. I am beautiful. I am the best, right? It comes from you clinging to the light, and the shadow isn't asking for control. The shadow isn't asking to destroy you. The shadow is just asking to be seen, to be acknowledged, to be accepted, because it is a part of the picture. And we spend so much time and energy running away from it, and that's where the pain is. That's where the suffering is. It comes from just refusing to accept what already is, because that is a part of you, right? To make this personally relevant, to give you a personal example, is there was one point in my life, because my deepest fear is being inadequate. That is my deepest, darkest fear. And at one point, really, I'd been spending my whole life running away from that. But at one point, the fight had really gotten intense. And in my head, I was just constantly being confronted with reasons why I'm not enough, why I'm a loser, why I'm losing, why I keep falling short. And objectively, I was falling short and I was losing. And eventually, it had been a week. I had just been fighting it and I'd been getting so depressed. And I was going to some really dark places. Eventually, I was in my car driving and I just said out loud in sheer exhaustion, I'm a loser. I am a loser. And then I got angry about it and I was yelling it, I'm a loser. And eventually it settled and I was like, I'm a loser? I'm a loser, right? Because the truth is there are times when I am a loser in life. There will be times when I lose. but that's not a reflection of the totality of who I am. That is a part of it. Yes, it is a part of it. And I had gotten to a point where I was so tired of running from it, I was so tired of fighting it, that eventually I had to accept it. And in accepting it, just like when Ichigo got stabbed, there was no pain. I realized the pain didn't come from having that as a part of me. There was no moving it. It was already there. The pain come from trying to deny it. The pain came from trying to do affirmations to make it untrue. It came from trying to find people that would make that not true. That would just make it so that I'm not a loser. Make it so that this part of me isn't real. But it is real. That part of me is there. And in accepting it, I realized, even though that's a part of me, it's not the whole picture. So look, to make this even more vivid, imagine you have a cup of water, right? You have a cup of water, and there are different labels you can put in front of the cup of water. You can call it beautiful, and it's still a cup of water. You can call it horrible. You can put a sticker that says horrible. It's still a cup of water. You can call it poison, right? You can put a sticker that says poison, but it's still a cup of water. The essence of what's within it doesn't change regardless of what label you put on it, right? And the essence of what it is. It just is, right? You can't label it. You can't sticker it. That's something you have to experience, right? If you've never tasted water, you've never experienced water, there is no amount of words, no amount of descriptions I can give that will adequately capture what it is. You just have to try it, and then you know. Words mediate your experience, but they don't define it. And the problem is we try and have words define who we are, define the essence of what we are, and words can't do it. They can get a picture of it. Words can get close. But the totality of what you are that which is labeled. And that which is labeled is experienced and met. It is not described. And so that was what it is. And so to tie this to your personal journey, is there are going to be times when people are throwing words at you. They're going to be pointing aspects of your shadow out. And it's going to be scary. It's going to genuinely be horrifying. You are not going to like that. It's going to be painful. However, if you can realize that the totality of what you are makes room even for the horrible things, even for the darkness, even for the things that you're afraid to be true. Yes, they are a part of you, but they're not the full picture. They can't be, because there's so much more to you. And in meeting those things, you might find that allowing them to touch you, there is no pain, there is no suffering, there's only harmony. Because you are not the labels, you are that which is labeled. And that which is labeled cannot be contained by words. It can only be experienced, it can only be met. And this is what meditation serves as, by the way. Meditation is a way for you to experience and to meet your divinity, right? Anyway, I hope that this helps. I hope that this benefits you on your journey to wholeness. And I'm looking forward to the comments, to hearing feedback on it.